Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of The Letter. Last time we got a confession from Rebecca. Very cute, very cute, but not the route. Unlucky. And while Ashton tried to break in, he immediately got ganked by Stuffed Hayoko, and I believe he fell down a hole into the dungeon, so... But on the bright side, we do save Mary and McCullough, and... now we have a teammate going forward. I'm sure, I do have a feeling that the Isabella, Rebecca, and Zachary will eventually meet up here, probably, because I feel like shit's about to go down. Or, I mean, Ashton even said that it feels like shit's been down or is about to go down, so yeah, I'm just excited to play. Let's see how this goes. McCullough is safe.
After the second day, I was so sure I was going to die in there. If you didn't show up...
Sorry, we're taking already.
I don't even want to think about it.
How did you even end up here?
For a second, she appears hesitant, looking away and fumbling awkwardly with her fingers.
I was looking for something. Someone.
The ghost. A contemplative expression flickers in her eyes, something that's close to wistful, like when a person remembers a memory she's fond of. It doesn't last too long, but it still leaves me with the impression that I've suddenly walked into something private. Something deeply personal for her. I'd rather not ask.
So this whole tunnel, at the end of it, it leads right inside the mansion?
The wine cellar.
Right into the kitchen, then.
There's a door of some sorts. I don't know. I think I pulled or pressed something somewhere. I was in a hurry.
Yeah, she did kind of fall through like a mirror, right? Or something. Not a mirror, but through the wall.
And I'm not sure if it'll open from this side. Hell, this place wasn't even in the floor plans.
What do you mean?
Secret.
Does that really matter now? We have to get out of here. People died in this place. Kids! Oh God! Kids! I could have shown you, but that thing won't turn back on anymore. It's like it only waited for me to see it before shutting down or something. How long has that thing even been in there?
Mind games.
But those poor kids. All because of that thing.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about right now?
The bloody letter! Ever since I've read that thing, since that day at the open house, she won't leave me. But it should be fine now, right? I broke it. I broke all of it. She shouldn't be able to do anything now.
It was just a meme, McCullough. I'm sorry.
McCullough, one at a time.
Tell him about the kids and the video. That's the most important part.
It's all that fucking paper's fault. Oh God. Oh God. Dear Lord in St. Adelaide, bless those poor souls. We're not safe here. We need to leave. If we stay here any longer...
McCullough!
Abruptly, she stops, looks back at me with wild, panic-stricken eyes. I've seen enough of it so many times these past few days, from my own friends even. She knows she has seen things, the kind that'll easily make any person go mad. And perhaps we slowly are. The longer this takes, the faster our descent into it becomes. I can't even tell which one's worst. Death or this. Seems like no matter what we end up with, there'll be something horrible waiting for us. I need to hurry.
Listen, I need to get inside this place, and you're more familiar with its layout. If you can help me...
What? No!
Come on, you owe me one.
Why would I go back? Are you sure you haven't gotten raving mad yet? An exit's right here.
And this business with the letter has to end at some point. Look, I know you're not very fond of Luke Wright.
It's my fault. I should have boosted them better. I mean, you can't really. Ah, yeah, you definitely could. I remember I did fuck up with them a lot, eh?
Damn right I'm not. He can just go.
But are you really sure you want to leave him like this? And what about his wife?
She lights his wife. That'll stop her. I made sure of that. I wonder if I got them low enough for both of them, she would have refused to help Ashton. That would have been horrible. It strikes a chord. She falters, grows quiet as the tension lifts from her and her shoulders slump. I do understand her issues with this. In fact, she doesn't have to go with me, only tell me enough info so I can figure it out on my own. She can always leave afterwards, be done with this whole damn mansion and letter. The other end of this tunnel leads right into the forest. It'll provide ample cover for her to be able to slip out of the property unnoticed. So they went... I don't know. Still a little confused how Ashton even got in here, dude. I think he just tripped into an opening, I guess. All the same, she steels herself and squares her shoulders.
Just until the kitchens.
That's more than enough.
She nods, albeit weakly. Then, without another word, she gestures for me to follow, leading me further into the passage. New journal. Oh, with the little piece of wood. After his fall, Ashton found himself in an underground passage when he came to. So he fell in it. Okay, that's what I thought. Fell into a hole or tumbled into the passage. There he encountered Marianne McCullough, who got trapped in one of the jail cells for several days. The detective managed to free her, and in turn she helped him find a way into the mansion. Occasionally she'll stop, find purchases on the wall to catch her breath, but throughout the short watch she asks for neither a break nor assistance. I suppose that's something we have in common. Eventually we get to a dead end. Although before I can question her on it, she begins palming for something on the wall, tracing her fingers along weathered edges of the bricks with a frown on her face. I wonder what would happen if you kill Marianne. Maybe that's the true ending for her route. Then what would Ashton do? He'd be stuck here, dude. Without Marianne's guidance, he wouldn't have any of the intel. He might find it out eventually because he's a smart guy, but still.
It should be somewhere here, I think.
What the hell are you doing?
She merely holds a hand, begging for my silence, and continues searching. Then, without warning, a few minutes later, something clicks. A portion of the wall shifts ajar to reveal a glimpse of another room. Bottles lining the walls, liquor barrels for aging. The wine cellar indeed.
The ladder to the kitchen is on the far end of this room.
Surreal. This is all nothing but a surreal nightmare. But after everything, should this even surprise me? Ghosts, curses, hidden passages. I can't even bring myself to question the existence of this door anymore. I simply follow her to the undercroft without a single question, in spite of a number of them already swimming inside of my head. As a kid, I used to crave for this kind of adventure. The stuff of mystery and detective novels, daring chases, interesting cases to solve, suspects to put behind bars, justice to serve. I was blinded, I admit. Now I simply want this to be over. Okay, making our way up. We leave the door open in case there's a need for a quick exit, especially after she mentions it's only by chance she has been able to open the door last time. We can't waste time finding the switch again on the occasion something goes horribly wrong. There's bound to be, with me feeling this high-strung intense. I'm not even sure why I thought it'll be a good idea to enlist McCullough's help. Although she has been quite helpful so far, I can't shake off the horrible feeling something's going to happen to her if she stays with me. Even if I'm her safest bet if she wants to get out of this place alive. Well, that's not good.
You really believe that, don't you?
Oop.
Did you say something?
Did that sound like her? That actually sounded like Rebecca, kind of. McCullough pauses mid-step, turning to me confused.
I didn't.
You sure? I just heard...
Don't you think I'll be the first person who'll know?
Made sense.
Look, the ladder leading to the kitchen's up ahead. You might want to hurry. I just want to be done with this place.
See? You dragged another one.
Yeah, that is Rebecca's voice. I think. This time I'm sure. There's really a voice. Wow, voices. Despite the look of protest McCullough shoots me, I find myself stopping and looking for it, searching the immediate surrounding for the familiar form of the woman. I don't even have to venture too far from where I'm standing. Just an arm's length away from me, mirror shards litter the floor. Oh no, she's still in there, and right on the biggest fragments. They speak. Oh yeah, it's friends plus Kyoko. That's actually a pretty cool shot. Maybe worth thumbnailing if you don't have a little CG. All singing the same mocking tune against my ears, letting it echo throughout the small undercroft. Murmurs and laughters, jeering, scoffing, deriding, lacing venom into every crevice in my head. Taunting me.
You dragged another person into this, Ashton.
Into another one of your silly little problems.
All because you can't fix them on your own. You really haven't changed, have you? Some hero you are.
Useless.
Pathetic.
You're wrong.
My mistake lies in the first instance I've answered. The very second denial has slipped from my mouth. Their words have also seeped into my heart, allowing it to prod at and rouse my temper. Despite knowing they are merely doing this to goad me, each word, each syllable trickle into me, spurring the guilt I hope I've long buried.
Are we? Or is that simply what you've been telling yourself all this time? Something to make yourself feel better, perhaps?
You're the one who took that letter off Isabella's hand that day. You're the one who opened it.
How does it feel, I wonder? To know you're responsible for all of this?
What do you think I'm doing? Why do you think I'm still trying to fix this?
Oh, but you can't. It's already too late. And you know that. You know all of this is futile.
Maybe that's a sign that maybe it's not too late. Seems like they want to drag you off the path.
Just face it, Ashton Frey. You're a failure, and they are the ones who have to pay for it.
A badge and a gun, and you still can't protect your own friends. Can't even solve a case for an old man.
Can't even bring Luke Wright to justice.
Very conscious. You know, I was always wondering how conscious Kyoko is. Because it seems like she is, but isn't. But this is very telling that she knows everything.
Can't even keep his own family together.
Don't do that.
No one
Striking deep.
before you do the same thing to them.
Mom and Dad are better off without little old you, aren't they? It's a good thing they have sense.
Pitiful, isn't it? Some detective you are. Some friend you are. Some son you are. You might as well just throw that rank away. You're no use to people either way.
Shut it!
I hate this. I hate how this monster can easily get through to me. Every weakness, every insecurity it knows. To hear it said in my friend's voice, even more so. But what I hate above all of it is...
You know it's true, though.
All of it. It's why all you can do is tell us to shut up. You don't want to hear a single word, because you're already aware of it. You can't even admit it to yourself. Who's the coward now?
But no matter how hard you try, you're not gonna be able to save anyone.
Shut it! Not a single word anymore.
In the end, your own incompetence will eventually lead to the deaths of everyone you care about.
It laughs, sharp and piercing. At its sound, something in me snaps, a rage hastily unfurling, red filling my vision, and the next thing I know, I'm raising my hand and... something grabs on my wrist, followed by a buzz, as another voice breaks through the haze.
Don't listen to it!
Thank you, Marianne. The thought from my mind lifts. Every sound, every noise returns to me, flooding my every senses. All at once there is this deafening silence. Slowly, I become aware of my surroundings. Bottles of wine, barrels of liquor, the faint old scent of death and decay somewhere, a hand holding on to my wrist as if to keep me from hurting myself. In my hands, a shard, blood drips from where it has topped my palm, trailing down to my wrist until it disappears behind my sleeve. Not too deep, negligible even. There is a pain, however, a different kind, an ache somewhere else that stems not from the wound, but where every single word has hit. When I glance up to McCullough, she merely stares at me with wide, horrified eyes.
Don't listen to it. No matter what happens, don't do what it says. It's how it gets us.
My grip on the shard falters, but only after I nod and drop it entirely does she release her grip. Afterwards, she simply steps back and looks away. Hugging her arms closer to herself, she breathes a sigh. Heavy. Perhaps weighted with her own guilt, what this monster might have used against her.
Come on, we're getting close.
She walks off without another comment, but there's worry in her as she gives the fragment one last glimpse. Before he could go deeper into the wine cellar, Ashton began to hear voices coming from the mirror, the shards on the floor mocking him for his failures. Though before he could do anything rash, Marianne stopped him. Belatedly, he realized he picked up a broken mirror shard. On the ground, they lie lifeless now. No more voices, no more insults, but even as I walk away, one whispered taunt continues to ring in my ears.
It's useless, Ashton Frey. You are going to die.
And you are going to die alone.
I skipped the laugh. Of fear. My bad.
And you are going to die alone.
Jesus. One that had been long kept in the darkest place in my heart. Darkest place in my heart. One that a small part of me wishes for. Yay, kitchen. Everyone good? The trapdoor swings open without much fuss. It isn't even locked, probably left open for when Wright asked for some midnight snack. I made sure the coast is clear, of course, before I pull myself and help McCullough up. The butler of theirs is nowhere to be seen. He's probably sleeping, attending to his master, or doing some extra late-night work before turning in for the night. Meanwhile, Wright won't touch anything to do with menial chores, not even with a 10-foot pole. It's next to impossible for him to linger here. No servants, no anyone. And just as easy as that, we're in. Gently, I close the hatch. If things go well, the same path will be our way out. If our luck doesn't hold, that's not an option now, is it? I have people waiting for me. I really don't want to think what might happen. Sometimes it's best if you simply revel in the little victories. They're great blessings when everything else is going against you. And in a place like this, fraught with unknown dangers, it's a feeling that lasts only but a second. Suddenly, a sob, ringing out from some distant part of the house, echoing through its empty halls. Nah, that's Kyoko, man. Beside me, slumped on the ground, pale and breathing heavy, McCullough immediately tenses. Her eyes goes wide as she grips the side of the counter with a force that might be enough to crack it, if only she has the strength. As it is, she can barely stand. She hasn't fully recovered, made sense of the 3 or more days without proper food or water. And this is the weakness that puts the fear in her eyes. She's aware. If something happens, if there's a need to run, she won't be able to. She's a liability at this point.
Holmes. I
didn't really
don't
even
think
think-
going any further is a good idea.
Honestly, good call. I didn't even think that because of her exhaustion, she wouldn't physically be able to go. So, something I overlooked. Lucky Ashton realized that. I probably should have. Maybe if I was still continuing from last section, I would have.
Look at this place. Everything seems fine. Nothing's off. Maybe we should just go? I really don't like the sound of that.
You really don't have to come with me. Just until the kitchen, yeah? We're already here. You've done your part. From here on, I'm going on my own.
Yes, I said that, but
Can you even stand?
She doesn't answer.
You'll only be putting yourself in more danger if you follow after me. You have an easy way out of here. Stay here. Once you're okay, I need you to get yourself out of this place.
what? I'm not going to leave you.
Well, I'm not taking you with me either, lady. So it's here or out there.
You really are mad, aren't you?
Probably all will be, if no one fixes this little curse problem we have.
You think you'll find something in here? This is just a mansion, for God's sake.
Excuse me, it's probably the origin of the curse. It's probably the best place to look.
Maybe. It's worth a shot. Besides, if what we're hearing right now says anything, I'd say scumbags.
Who?
Right. He might be knee-deep in trouble and he has no idea about it.
Metella still appears as if she's about to argue, so instead of more words, I unholster my taser and hand it to her. Ooh, looking nice. A standard issue for every member of Luxburn police force, but it shouldn't take a genius to know how to aim and fire one. Even Isabella may just be able to use it without training. Yet Miss Interior Designer Extraordinaire stares at it as if I just handed her something particularly nasty.
Listen, you want to wait? Fine. I'm leaving this with you. But if I don't come back here within 15 minutes, I want you to backtrack and get the hell out of here.
Are you daft, Holmes? I already told you.
In case something goes wrong, I need someone who can tell people what's going on. Who can tell my friends what might have happened here. They're at the crawl. You know the place, right?
I trail off, letting the meaning of my words hang in the air. I want to be optimistic about this, really. However, I'm going against something almost everyone can't quite understand. I'm just being realistic with my chances. Metella seems to understand this as well after what I've said. Any signs of protest had already died from her tongue, and she simply looks at the taser quietly. After a moment, she just nods. Oh, God. I'm scared, bro. This is the accumulation of our choices. We don't even have choices anymore, but they're making decisions for us. Upon reaching the kitchen, the crying Ashton heard from outside began anew, unwilling to risk a civilian. A detective handed Marianne his taser and advised her to leave him if he didn't return after 15 minutes, even if he himself was uncertain he would. Beyond the walls of this room, the cries continue to grow louder, and I take it as a sign to leave. Without another word, I slip out of the door. Like a siren call, her voice beckons. Finding out who that is seems like a good place to start as any. I keep to the shadows for the most part. Not that there's any need to. The entire place just feels empty. Odd, when a house this big should have a large staff. Something went crazy. Who is it though? Luke? Johannes? Hannah? You'd think there'd be one or two roaming about for some late night chores, or someone seeking out whoever's creating this ruckus. There's none, however.
Shouldn't they have security posted inside as well?
Unless their security means the butler, I doubt Scumbade's that sloppy. He loves his life more than anything. Probably more than his own wife. Maybe. And the things he's done, he's bound to make more than one or two enemy. He's also the kind who'll do anything to keep himself safe. Alive.
I wonder what he'll say when he finds out that there's something not human living with him in his own house.
I'm getting a really weird feeling. I don't know what it is. It's making me actually sus of Luke when I trust him so much. For some reason, the way, I don't know if it's just the way the story is going. I got this weird suspicion about Luke. Please don't make me. He's my boy. Potential dangers aside, being on my own grants me a greater degree of mobility, which I'm more comfortable with. Sure, I could have enlisted Metella's help. Next to the people who owns this, she's probably the one who's most familiar with the mansion. But the cons of bringing her outweigh the pros. She's better off somewhere A quick exit's in sight. With no Tadelon, I only have to worry about myself, watch my back. Selfish, I know.
But necessary.
In the same manner, this whole plan is, no matter how idiotic going into all this is. Besides, I don't really need a guide when a house layout is fairly simple, almost mirrored with only a few modifications in the rooms. Although I've only been here once, I think I already have a good grasp of this place's ins and outs. As long as you can tell which is east and west, it shouldn't be hard to find my way around. After the dining room, the main foyer should be in the next thing that greets me, where the woman cries are leading me. I guess we did see... Wait, no, it's not the same day. Never mind. Last time we saw Luke was when Zachary was moping about and he knocked on the door, right? Honestly, after what happened outside, I'm not sure if I should be trusting what I'm hearing. Definitely shouldn't be. But with this whole house someone seemingly devoid of any of its inhabitants, I'm inclined to look into this. More than surviving this curse, a huge part of this is my training speaking.
I just hope this isn't a crime scene I'm walking into.
I don't know, I'm getting the weird feeling too. And I'm usually pretty good at these things, so... Please, my boy Luke, make it Johannes. That guy's always been sketchy. But nothing's ever that simple, isn't it? Not when you're dealing with the supernatural. Nope. Because as soon as my feet crosses to the next room, something shifts. Okay, that's definitely Kyoko, not Luke painting the room red, I assume. In a flash nearly without fanfare. Oh, this is like when Marianne was walking. Was it Marianne? I think she did this. I mean, she didn't do this, but she experienced a similar thing, right? A very bloody room or something. I kind of remember someone did, and I think it was Marianne. In a flash nearly without fanfare. It happens in a blink of an eye. I almost miss it. One moment there's red. In the next... Yeah, okay. I think Marianne, or Hana. It was either Marianne or Hana who experienced this similar thing. I'm standing alone in the foyer. In the brief instant, for a brief instant, I pause. Glancing wildly around the place, blinking twice as if my movements will spur the vision back. Yet, nothing. No blood dripping on the walls, none trailing down the stairs or pooled on the floor, no eyes watching my every movement. Only the same cries gradually growing in intensity the longer I dally, along with a voice. I don't know what that means. Desperate.
Where are you, Mother?
It sounds like Rebecca's. It's obviously Kyoko. Pleading.
Mother, please. I don't want to be alone.
Is it? Never mind. That doesn't sound quite like Rebecca. Coming from the same direction I heard the cries from. Upstairs. The place is not entirely empty, then. A better question is who? Definitely not Scumbag or the butler. I've yet to see hide nor hair of them, and not knowing their whereabouts puts me on the edge. I have to be careful not to make any noise or be seen. Maybe the wife? Though one really can't tell if it's her, the way the walls echo her voice. Nevertheless, it pushes me to move. Taking almost 2 steps at a time, despite the sickening feeling that something's lurking behind every great shadow, every small corner I pass. As if the house has several eyes watching my every movement. And if something alive dwells behind the walls itself. As if. Uh-oh. It felt that. Kyoko. I'm friendly! Okay. She's being friendly too. Just a little meme for the viewers. I appreciate it. Upon reaching the kitchen, the crying Ashton heard from outside began anew. On alert, he continued deeper in the mansion, even if he was uncertain if he would get out of this place alive. I try to shake it off, but the uneasy sensation has already made home at the pit of my stomach. Dread, and it only grows deeper the closer I get to her. The relative emptiness of the place doesn't help either. Neither there's a harsh wind battering the windows, nor the sheets of rain pelting down on the roof. For a fleeting second, I find myself wishing for Stumbay to simply show up. I don't get too far down into that train of thought. Abruptly, the cries stop, replacing it with,
Mother, please. She's here. She's here, Mother. She's going to take me. She won't leave, Mother.
I wonder if it's something like, because we did see that truth fragment when I killed Rebecca accidentally. You saw old-time Hana lookalike whipping the shit out of the slave that she apparently freed. No, she was whipping the shit out of Blonde Man, who I assume is her... No, it was her husband. And the slave was, like, crying watching. So you can assume they had a relationship. I'm wondering if, like, maybe they had a kid. And, obviously, the Hana in the past was super mean to her. Bullied the shit out of her or something. Maybe. Or it could just be the slave girl crying for her mother, too. Just some food for thought.
I don't want to go with her. Tell her to go away. Mother! Mother, she's here! Help!
That can't be good. Adrenaline overcomes me in a rush. Come on, bro. That's not Hana, I think. In no 2 heartbeats, my feet's already moving before any sense can catch up or doubt creeps up to me. My hand's ready at the holster as I hastily set off for the far side of the wall. One alarmed footstep after another. One alarmed footstep after another, while struggling to keep that sense of panic at bay. A door lies ajar at the end and coming from the floor above.
She's going to hurt me! Help me!
I do not hesitate. Moving in despite the lack of light, the steep stairs, or the thick layer of dust kicking up with my every step. No, we're going into the freaking attic, bro, where it all started. I paused only a moment upon reaching the top. Then without wasting a second, I pushed the door open. Kyoko! No, it's not Kyoko, it's actually the wife. Maybe I'm like we only saw one truth fragment, so I have like no idea. Or maybe like, I guess maybe they shared more of the genes of the husband or something, and maybe the wife's suspicious that the daughter's not hers or something. I don't know, lots of ideas that we might not get answers to. But yeah, very cool CG. Take a little peek at that. Very bloody face. I'm sure she's gonna remove her hands and it's gonna be very creepy soon. That's my prediction. She sits in the middle of the room, shoulders hunched, shaking. Her hands cover her face as she weeps, oblivious to my presence. It's as if she heard neither my footsteps nor the soft creaking of the door, continuing undisturbed, like I'm standing in a time far removed from her. Well, it's a great way to put it, Ashton. She doesn't even flinch when I call out to her.
Hey, are you alright?
You have balls of steel, man.
Mother, I've done it, Mother. Take me with
Whales
you,
in the
please.
night. We got baited.
I can still hear her. She's here. Help me! Help me, please!
Yeah, I think she is the daughter of the slave girl, maybe. I don't know. Belatedly, I noticed the blood on her hands. If it's the same one drenched the whole attic, I'd rather not know. How the whole room ended up like this is the least of my problems at the moment. Even the single human body doesn't have this much blood. So, bodies? Oh, for some reason when she said I did it, I thought it was a bait about Ashton, but it probably just relates to what she's actually done in her time. For some reason, I just imagined like her face got ripped off, but it does seem like she maybe K'd some people. The thought sent an unpleasant twinge in my stomach. Does Wright even know about this? Look at what she's wearing, dude. He's bad news, alright, but this? This is beneath him. That's saying a lot. He'll definitely balk at the sight of it. Anyone will. Yet the woman lingers here, unmoved by the sight, letting her sobs fill the room, repeating the words over and over again like the prayer of salvation. To whom? The mess of parchment she has left on the floor? Just what the hell is happening?
Hey, lady, are you?
Are those like, are the letters not fake and those are the real letters? The rest of the question never makes it out. Oh, I'm about to get spooked. I don't even see it coming. Should have been more aware and on guard, really. Oh, shit. Oh man, that sounds like human shit. It's fucking Johannes. No, I don't know. But there's a little I can do when a well-placed blow to the back of my knees makes me stumble. The momentum sends me reeling forward. Yeah, it seems like someone's actually up to something. Please don't be my boy. The subs led Ashton to the mansion attic. In the middle of the room, he found a woman crouched on the floor crying cautiously. He approached her, but as he was about to reach out for her, someone grabs him from behind. I'm gonna move my mic. I'm gonna set up for quick time event mode, just as I have a feeling. Very quick time event feeling. Give my mouse some decent space. It's really hard. Alright, let's go then. It barely even registers in my head that the woman's gone and the room's as normal as it can be. Not above the pain suddenly shooting up my side when I hit the floor. I don't even get the chance to get my bearings back when a hard enough blow to the stomach causes me to buckle down and land heavily on my knees. Oh, we're about to see who's fucking with us. Gasping, I fumble wildly for my gun. Although before I am able to turn, level it, and shoot, a hand grabs my wrist and twists it. Hard. A gasp. A grunt. A cry of pain slips past my mouth. The gun falls to the floor with a thunk. As soon as it lands, a foot kicks it out of my reach and slides uselessly under the bed. Agony suddenly explodes in my chin, jerking loose a sharp cry of pain, and tears fill the edges of my vision. A brief moment of regret hits me for leaving my taser with McCullough when a piece of cloth closes around my neck. What can I do? I didn't have a choice. Without warning, the attacker pulls tight. Oh, don't do this to me, please. I'm left gasping, choking, and clawing for air, blindly reaching behind me as I still try to fight him off and loosen the pressure on my neck. Except any sort of movement only causes him to pull it taut.
My, so many rats scurrying about in this mansion lately.
It is Johannes! This guy's a fucking snake! I knew it from day one, baby! Loot's clear. Writes Butler. Shit.
Tell me, what did you do with the madam?
Uh-oh. I have no idea what he's talking about. Did something happen to Hannah Wright?
Let go, you asshole.
Now, Dummkopf, you're in no position to be rude.
He was, the most sus thing he's ever done was said he would come back for Marianne, and then, like, he never really mentioned it. Because I thought he might come back to you, like, I don't know. Fucking sketchy motherfucker.
Last time I checked, I'm not the one breaking into other people's homes. Now answer my question. What did you do with the madam?
The pain rings and resonates through my already sore body. Still, I managed to write it out and spit a mutinous.
You.
Based.
Keep that dirty mouth babbling and you're getting a knife in the kidney. I assure you it will be more painful than this.
He really doesn't need to threaten me by now. It's all too much to bear. At this point, my lungs feel like they're burning with the lack of air. Dark spots begin to fill the edges of my vision. Ever so slowly, the world around me dims. My consciousness rapidly slips away from me. And without meaning to...
Get away from him!
Marianne! It's good we gave her the taser, baby. Hearing that voice, it's as if I've been doused with a bucket of ice, cold water. Familiar, too familiar. And more importantly, it shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be hearing it here. What? I thought that was... Oh, is that not? I thought it was Marianne.
Get away from him!
No, that's Isabella. Oh, shit. Friendship Dude, what is the true route? The true route must be a really sour ending since everyone's freaking dead, dude. And Ashen would have been totally fucked. I guess you just get the truth of the whole situation, but my god. It's very grim to think about. Immediately my eyes snap open. Squad up with the rolling pin. And right there, right on the added doorway, stands Isabella of all people. A rolling pin on one hand and a standard issue police taser on the on the other, my taser. Very bad time to choke up. Get some hydration going, I guess. She must have borrowed it from McCullough. Who else could she have gotten one? Or where else could she have gotten one? I doubt she has ever used one even. Hell, she even holds it right now. This guy can easily disarm her in one hit. But there's something in her. In her eyes. Although there's a look of fear in them, and her hand shakes, she keeps the weapon trained and pointed at Scumbade's lackey. Untrained or not, she does not plan to leave here without putting up a fight, it seems. Admirable, really. But it's just not something we need right now. I need her to be away from here. I need her safe. But the chances of that happening grow slim with every laughter that slips from him.
Oh, this is just getting better and better. The Bratwurst won't be pleased with the number of bodies we have to dispose of today, you know.
No, don't implicate my boy.
Tell me, how many of you are there? So I can prepare the proper number of bags.
I will say, Johannes has some freaking Chad energy, man. Kinda love it. Reminds me of Takano flexing on the club members when she's like, oh, bring 6 body beds, please. Damn it. What the fuck's going on? Why is she here in the first place? Did she follow after me? Who else came with her? Zach? Rebecca? Are they all here? Panic surges within me. She knows how bad the situation is, but did she really have to run in here and expose herself like that? Does she even know how to use a taser? For fuck's sake, more than worrying for my life, it's hers I'm concerned about. Getting strangled, dying by choking isn't part of the plan, but her following me here isn't either. This is why I prefer to do things alone. This is why I'd rather be the only one to take the consequences. I don't even want to think what this bastard might do to her after he's done with me. Though my voice already comes off nearly a croak, I try to tell her as much. She has to leave. Stay far away from here and these people.
Don't! Damn it, Isabella! Get out of here!
Another bout of pain erupts in my side, cutting off my words. A cry of agony bursts from my mouth. I can taste blood in my tongue as I heave, attempting to deaden as much air despite the towel still coiled around my neck.
Ash?
You're going to lose air quickly that way, Dummkopf. Better keep it shut.
Doomtough?
Get out! 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 Val!
Bro, I just thought, what if he's not Luke? What if it's the freaking chief, man? The freaking police chief, Lee. Lee and Johannes. The sneaky snake. Because Lee's always been freaking sus too, man. Oh my god, I think that's it. I think I cracked the code. I'm locking in my answer. It's not Luke. This isn't Copium either. It's actually Lee.
Don't be stupid! I'm not leaving you here!
He laughs. Too cruel. Too unforgiving. The way each note beats against my ears, in spite of the warmth in them, sends chills down my spine. This is a man whose hands have already been stained with blood before. He won't hesitate.
I'd follow his advice if I were you, little girl. What could you possibly do with a toy? Just hand it over and be on your way. It'll probably be too difficult for a little girl like you to use.
There's a moment of silence. Fuck, I can barely keep my eyes open. But in the next second, though I still don't exactly understand what's happening, Isabella shouts. Not a cry of pain. Late bloomer! She's about to pop off! Not a yell of panic, but one that's resolute, firm, perhaps in a tone that leads fiercer than any I've heard from before.
Try me.
Bitch!
Duck!
Try me and just immediately shooting would have been kind of badass. I do. More out of instinct and desire to survive, closing my eyes before my mind can fully process what's going on. Bzzz. It all happens in a blur. The telltale sound of a taser being discharged resounds through the room. The air crackles. Something whizzes by, almost too close to my ear, followed by the thud of something blunt connecting solidly with another object. The next thing I know, the towel strangling me has started to loosen. I collapse on the floor, dazed, gasping for air. Good shot, good shot. Ashton attempted to fight back, but his attacker quickly disarmed him, looping a towel around his neck and strangling him. But just when he was about to lose consciousness, a familiar voice rings the room end. From my peripheral, through the haze of blood rushing and the sound slowly filtering back, the butler buckles, he spasms once. Then, without much fuss, falls face first beside me, knocked unconscious by 50,000 volts of electricity and a fucking roller pin. Nice little whack, huh? He'll be out for a while. I have no idea whether I should laugh or cry at that. Oh, this is so cock-blocky. I think we're gonna end it here. It feels like a climax. I don't want to know if it's loot or not. I'm huffing the topium, broys. No, I actually do love cliffhangers. Hopefully you like them too. But that was exciting. So Johannes is guaranteed evil. I was kind of memeing with him, but he does give a weird vibe. Especially after the Marianne round, I always felt a bit weird about him. But we'll see. It is alluding that Luke is also a culprit. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's Lee for the bid brain shit, because he's a sketchy motherfucker too, right? He is. Maybe all three of them are working together, to be honest, though. But yeah, we'll see. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and next time we'll get closer to the truth. But until then, see ya!